Hello and welcome to day 15 of NaNoWriMo, November 15th, 2020. This is the second time I've recorded this video because, like a dummy, I forgot to turn on the microphone power before I started recording the first take. So, here we go again. I want to spend this video talking about what's going to happen to this current work in progress at the end of the 30 days. Now, I said in the past that I didn't know if I was going to be trying to indie publish this or if I was going to send it out to a bigger publisher and kind of test the waters in that realm. For the longest time, I actually have two books that I need to write. Well, I have two books that I need to write. One of them is a book that I promised to a friend of mine who owns a small publishing company several years ago. I promised that I would send a book his way, just so I had something in his library, because at this point in time I don't. So that was one. And the other one is I want to write a story to send out to the bigger publishers, if nothing else, just to put my name in their hat. You know, even if they don't accept it. If they don't accept it for a couple years, I can always pull it, and I can do it myself if it's a book worthy of being published. Not all books are worthy of being published. I didn't really know with this book what I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of explore that route just because it's been on my plate for a long time. But at the same time, I understand that you guys are going through this whole writing process with me. If you're watching these videos, it's going to be 31 videos if you include the introduction. And if you've gone through all of that, I don't want to leave you empty-handed. So, as of today, I've decided that at the end of this video sequence, I am going to be including the rough draft of this book available for download. Now, keep in mind that it is a rough draft. It hasn't had time to be edited and revised multiple times before it's sent out into the world. But just as not only proof that I did what I said I was going to do, validation, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care about any of that. I want to make that rough draft available to you guys just so you can see that it is possible. Now, that's not to say that I'm not still going to go ahead and revise it and get it edited and get it polished to the prettiest little pebble it can be and then release it as a full and complete book. I will give you guys the rough draft, yes, but I'm going to do the final version as well, so I have a quality product. And at least this way you guys can see that it is possible to write a book within the 30 days. Now, granted, it's not a long book. There's a lot of videos out there that talk about the craft of writing, where they're like, yeah, I wrote this book in 9 days. The thing those videos never talk about, and honestly, it's annoyed me, none of them talk about word count. Word count is extremely important in the writing industry. Word count is the only method to measure a book because a word count is not a variable term. Novel, novelette, chapter, page, formatting, all of those are variables. I guarantee if you have a bookcase near you, if you pull off 10 books and you measure them all side by page count, chapter count, any of that stuff, if you measure those 10 books side by side, you will have a different end result on each one of them because those are variable terms. The only one that is not is word count, and that's why I stress word count so much. In this industry, everything is measured by word count. When you get to these other creator videos and that where they never discuss word count, they never want to talk about word count. Because saying, yeah, I wrote 15 books last year is a lot less impressive if those books were 5,000 to 10,000 words each, and the end result was 65,000 words in a year. I do that pretty typically within about a month's time. Most of the books I write are between 80 to 100,000 words, which again are not super long when you get into epic stories. But the formula that I follow and my current genre trends tend to be between 80 and 100,000 words. The biggest book that I've done to date was 122,000, and I did it. That was the last book that I did. And I was initially aiming for 60,000 in that. It just the story needed to be bigger, so it got bigger. So the rough draft is going to be available for download at the end of this 30-day segment if you followed all of these videos, which I hope that you have. And if you're getting to it later, that's fine. I'm not going to pull it down. I'll leave that rough draft available basically for until the end of time or until I get forgotten about. But I will make an edited version available, for sale to add to my backlist. Now, I don't really know how I got onto this topic in my previous recording. I know that I did get there, but I don't remember how the conversation steered that way. I had made note about beginning writers writing a series. I want to repeat what I said in that last recording just because it is very important information. As a new or inexperienced author, you do not want to work on a series as your first book. The reason being, there are actually numerous reasons, but the biggest reason is because as an inexperienced author, you have not found your voice. You have not figured out your style. You do not know how to be a writer yet. Every book that we write gets better. Even me, I've written 22 books total. This is my 23rd book. You want to stay away from a series because by the time that you get to a quality that you are doing pretty well, usually about your 4th or 5th book is where you start finding your voice. You start getting better just due to the sheer nature of writing. You're getting better. The trouble is, if you expect to make money with these books, you cannot start a series as an inexperienced author and hope for that. It is a very, very rare chance that that's going to happen. And the reason is, as a, we'll say, crappy writer for your first book, you didn't know what you were doing, so you're making tons of mistakes that, honestly, you probably don't even know are mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes. I didn't know they were mistakes until I learned that they were mistakes, and then I'm like, oh crap, I've been doing that. And then I learned to fix it, and I no longer do that, or at least I do my best to no longer do, whatever it is. As an inexperienced author, you don't know how to spin a good story. You will learn that through the act of writing. So, if you decide to write a series as an inexperienced author, book 1's gonna suck. Book 2's a little better. It's gonna suck. Book 3, you're getting there. Probably a little rough around the edges, but you're getting there. Book 4, you're doing pretty good. Book 5, oh my god, this person's doing great. Nobody can get to book 5 if book 1 through 4 or books 1 through 3 suck. Most people are not going to waif through the crap to find the gold. So, as an inexperienced author, you are better off writing standalone stories until you find your voice, you find your style, you learn the trade. Once you've done that and you've gotten the learning curve books, you've gotten them out of the way, then you can go in and write a series. I'm not saying never do it. I'm just saying don't start off doing it because you are fighting against the current to do so. More so than you already are, because honestly, being a writer's hard. If I would have known it was this hard, I probably would have never started it. But it is what it is. The other thing I wanted to mention when I got onto the series talk in the last recording of this video, I made all of those mistakes. I made so many mistakes. And it is what it is. I've learned from most of them. If I know they're mistakes, I've at least attempted to learn from them. My first trilogy honestly sucks. It's been revised numerous times. It's been re-edited numerous times. It's been re-released. It's had multiple editions done. I've tried to breathe life into that trilogy time and again because honestly, I love the story. I believe that it is a fantastic story. I believe that it has so much potential. The trouble is, I didn't know really what I was doing. I was doing what I thought I needed to do, but due to ignorance, I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing. So I just did what I thought I was supposed to do, and I made a lot of mistakes. I love that trilogy. but it's not the easiest to read because I was inexperienced and I didn't really know what I was doing. I wish I could have connected all of those dots a little easier like I did in the first recording, but like I said, I forgot to turn on the microphone power. Learning curve here on video still. It is what it is. Anyway, I am going to let you guys go. I'm already 12 minutes into this recording, so we will talk to you tomorrow, and you have a good evening.